Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the War Room. We got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. How you wanna end a 1 or 2 hour show to keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level. Bold with the topic, sorta like the rebels when it's game time. They like a Fast Five during prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. For sports medicine and sports veterans and greats. The 4th and 26th saw the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated. Turn me up in my headphones.
What's good, War Room family? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on that War Room Sports Podcast Network. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev McMillan, and I'm in the building with my squidard. We got B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander, as the song says, and the homie Jimmy the Blueprint will be with us in a matter of moments. But look, man, we'd like to welcome you to our 2018 NFL preview, and what's more important, our 8th anniversary show. Yes, 8 years ago, not exactly to this day, because we started, what was it, B? It was September 9th, 2010. So we're a few days early on it, but usually, you know, our anniversary basically falls on the Thursday that the NFL kicks off. Our very first show was an NFL kickoff show. So yeah, 8 years ago, we decided to. We've been going ever since. So keep it locked right here for a lot of football talk, a lot of Nike talk, and if you want to get in on the conversation, make sure you join us right now in the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/The War Room. You can join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call directly in about 10 minutes when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline. That'll be after we talk with Gus Griffin. We're gambling with Gus again. That number is 323-410-0012. Before we get started, make sure that during the week when we're not live on the air, you check out archive episodes of our show at warroomsports.com, the War Room Sports mobile app, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, wherever you do your podcast listening, we're most likely to be there. What up, B? 8 years and counting, good brother. How's that feel?
It's our anniversary. Yeah.
Yo, happy anniversary, brother. No hole mizzle.
Same to you, good bro. Yeah. It's not the kind of anniversary you're gonna have Sadiq singing to us, but feels good.
To say, couple quick words, man. Thank you to the listeners, all 1 million of you. Thank you to the fans. Thank you to sports in general, man. Thank you to you, Dev. Thank you to Jimmy. Thank you to PJ. Thank you to Doc Bay. I don't know what my life would be without the War Room, like real talk. So I'm just thankful. And for our 10th anniversary, hopefully we're able to do the show either from the International Space Station or the top of the Eiffel Tower or the Serengeti. That's my wish. So no doubt.
I'm cool if, we could just take the wives and do it from a overwater bungalow in Bora Bora. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Something small. something small, something tiny. Nothing too big. All right, man, but it's been a nice run, man. But we're gonna get into what's been going on this week, and we're gonna, the first thing we're gonna do in a few minutes, we're gonna talk with Gus Griffin because the football season is back. That means he's back with his picks, his picks against the spread every week. He started off a little slow last season, but he picked it up towards the end. Almost broke even at the very end. So, if you stuck with him and you didn't give up, you might have won yourself some money. And B, what's my audio sounding like right now? Am I good?
Man, you good in the headphones?
All right, that's what's up. Gus, if you're on the line, because the switchboard is crazy right now. If you're on the line, make sure you press 1 so we know, that you're there and that you're waiting for us. And we will get to you. All right. I think he is. I saw he pressed it. All right, so let's get right into hot topics, which is led off by our Gambling with Gus segment. And that segment is brought to you by MyBookie, ironically. What up, fam? Let's talk turkey and how much of it you can make betting on sports contests at MyBookie. The NFL is back, so if you haven't checked out MyBookie, this is a great time to do so. Lay down some dough on the biggest games in sports. Join us and thousands of other online players placing bets at mybookie.ag. You got to remember that. It's .ag, not .com. You tired of getting a runaround when it's time for a payout? That's why we urge you to join MyBookie. You win, they pay fast and without any hassles. You wasting your time betting on sports anywhere else. They even have in-game live betting so you can place wagers after kickoff. That's crazy. Join now and MyBookie will match your first deposit with a 50% bonus. Just use the promo code WARROOM, all caps, WARROOM, to activate this offer. Visit mybookie.ag today. Play, win, get paid, period. And you can play and win just strictly, you can go play the games that Gus gives you every week. You can go try your luck at that. So the man, the myth, he's back. Gus, I'd like to welcome you back to the War Room, good brother. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Time to steal some money.
We're back for another season, another round of investment picks. That's what we like to call them. So you ready, Gus?
I'm ready.
We got to start off strong this time. Last time it was kind of a slow start, but you came roaring back at the end. This time we want to get off to a slow start and make all the negative vibes play catch up.
Exactly.
So let's go ahead and start it with the opener, the kickoff game, the Falcons at Eagles. And I believe the Falcons are plus 2.5 over the Birds. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, that was earlier. It's actually down to a pick'em game. And for an opening defending Super Bowl champ to be this short of a favorite and for that line to move, that smells a little bit to me. So I hate to say this, Philly brethren, but I'm going to take the Falcons to win this straight up tonight. It's a highly emotional night for Philly, long-suffering Philly fans, Philly organization, and may just be a little, maybe a little slow start there. Atlanta was very close to winning last year anyway.
The party might be
maybe a little bit, Yeah. I don't expect them to fall back totally this year, but I just think Atlanta is going to pick this one up tonight.
Right. And I kind of had similar thoughts. Like, we pick a few games at the end of the show, and that's one of the games that we're going to pick. I'm still 50-50 on it, and I'm leaning towards picking Atlanta as well. It's not necessarily in football because actually the defending Super Bowl champs actually have a positive record in this Thursday night opening game.
They do. You're right.
You're
right. New England last year was an aberration.
Right, but I'm looking at sports in general, like when defending champ, when they're raising banners and getting rings and all of that, especially basketball, like they tend to get wiped because it's just too much going on before the game. So, I might be.
I'm definitely picking Atlanta to rub our faces into the dirt, and I'm okay with that. We just won the Super Bowl, and I keep waiting to have someone come and take the trophy away and take it back to New England and tell us that we really did win.
I watched the game earlier, and when New England took the lead in the fourth quarter, I was still nervous. I'm like, it would only be Philadelphia fans where you watch the game months later and the outcome actually changes and you realize it's all been a dream. So,
it's all been a dream. So I got us going 7-9. No matter who is on, man, we could have Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders. We going 7-9 because we done exhausted all.
We'll talk about that later when we do our season picks. Let's get to the second game here, and we got the Saints man, getting 9.5 Buccaneers. I guess they like Jameis is not there, so the Bucs don't have a shot.
Yeah, they don't have much of a history winning there anyway. If Jameson's there, then you give them a fighting chance in a shootout. But this is not your father's Saints team, and they showed that last year. They run the ball.
Yeah.
And
they play defense.
having even at his age, having Drew Brees as a second option is not bad.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, we're not used to the Saints playing defense like that either. So
exactly, they changed their character.
Right, and that was the only team in the NFC that I was afraid for the Eagles to play last season. When
they match up well with everybody.
Stephon Diggs caught that ball and ran down the sideline, I probably cheered just as loud as a Vikings fan. Not that I knew we were going to wipe the Vikings next week, but I just thought our chances were better against the Vikings the way that the Saints were playing. All right, so let's go the Giants and their new shiny rookie versus the Jags. And the line on that one is plus 3.5.
Yeah, that stinks to high heaven. If you look at how good the Jags were last year and how bad the Giants were, the only thing that I did a little research. The Jags actually don't have a very good history of playing well against NFC East teams on the road. They're like 3-9 in the last 12 games. Of course, those were Jag teams that weren't as good as the one that we saw last year. But I just got a feeling they're going to kind of come back to the mean a little bit. And also, frankly, I think Saquon Barkley is going to be a special back. And we know Eli isn't what he used to be, but if he's got a guy he can hand it off to 20-25 times and the defense, has to play 8 in the box, he's got enough to make enough throws to make that a competitive game. That might be the upset of the weekend, but I'm taking the Giants plus the 3.5.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Eli has a lot of weapons to work with. Like you said, if Saquon is special like a lot of people think he is, he's going to make life so much easier for Eli.
For anybody. Mm-hmm.
Right. For anybody who's back there. So the next one is the Texans and the Patriots. And that's plus 6.5.
Yes. This is a team that hasn't shown any fear of New England. In 2 games, they've shown that they don't seem to be intimidated by them. I think Deshaun Watson is going to pick up where he left off at. The interesting thing is when he got hurt, they had just enough out there to see he was good, but maybe not quite enough out there for teams to really prepare for him the way they typically do. So I see him picking up where he left off at 6.5. I see this as a very hungry team with no fear. I think they're going to cover that 6.5. Maybe they might even go in there and surprise us and win that game.
Okay. All right, and last, but I was about to say certainly not least, but that's cliche. It's probably the least games that we talk about. The Lions getting 6.5 over the Jets.
Yeah, see, the Lions as a sleeper team possibly. I wouldn't be shocked if they, with the Packers defense, the Bears aren't ready. The Vikings are clearly the class of that division, but I think the Lions could make a good push for second place in that division. And then the other thing about it is I'm a USC fan, but I've never been very sold on Sam Darnold. And rookie quarterbacks are rookie quarterbacks. So I think the Lions are going to win by at least 10.
Okay. Yeah, kind of my thoughts because, I was on a show last night where we were talking about Sam Darnold. And, somebody on the show with me was talking about Sam Darnold possibly being the offensive rookie of the year, which is possible, because first of all, he's playing the quarterback position. But I don't think the league is going to be that easy for him this year, especially, on that Jets team. So there's going to be a few rude awakenings, and they might get one in week 1. All right, so those are Gus's picks for the week. I hope you guys were paying attention. You guys can go out and make some bets. If you can go to mybookie.ag if you want to make some bets and get that 50% bonus by using that promo code WARROOM. So, Gus, we will see how week 1 goes. And before we get you out of here, just give us, what are your Steelers going to do this season?
Oh, they're going to win it all, of course.
All right. Even if Le'Veon Bell.
Look. Marvin Gaye had 2 out of 3 right. Taxes, death, and the stability of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to get number 7 this year, baby. You heard it here first, folks.
We will see.
Hey,
make
sure your readers catch my last column on It's Just About Selling Shoes.
Oh, no doubt, because actually we're about to talk about the whole Nike and Colin Kaepernick situation. So if you guys go to warroomsports.com, you will see the latest article on the site written by Gus about that situation. So go read it. If you read it now, call in. Let's talk about it. If you read it later, come to me on our Facebook and we'll talk about it. But Gus, thank you as usual, and we will talk to you next week, good brother.
We love you, Gus. All right, football's back.
All right, no doubt. Talk to you next week.
All right.
All right, Gus Griffin, everybody, Gambling with Gus. But make sure you go to the website warroomsports.com and check out his writing as well, because he definitely holds the blog down for us these days. All right, so B, it's been a long week with one main topic that kind of got in there and took the excitement and the hype from anything else that was happening in sports. And it was about this whole Nike ad. Nike has made Colin Kaepernick one of the faces of their, I think it's 30th anniversary of the Just Do It campaign. And a lot of America, a lot of white America who's really not, I'm not even going to say didn't understand. A lot of people who's not taking the time to even attempt to understand what Kaepernick was protesting in the first place. A lot of people who are against what he's done lost their collective mind. So you have people on social media burning their Nike gear, some people burning shoes while they're still on their feet. You can kind of see the intelligence level of some of these folks. You're burning gear and cutting up gear that you already paid for, that Nike already paid for. Stuff that you probably bought from like a retailer who's already paid for their, stock of Nike merchandise. So, there were a lot of variables in this whole thing this week. There are a lot of people saying, oh, Nike just committed brand suicide. And just like the stock market moves, just like investors react from any controversial situation, in a matter of a day, the stock dropped 3%, which for a company like Nike equals maybe like $4 billion. The stock since then has been creeping back up to the same level it was before this whole thing. So I guess a lot of people who wanted to see that probably didn't understand the market much, and they really thought that, a company as big as Nike had just offed themselves in one day. But the stock price is creeping back up to where it was. What were your thoughts about this whole thing when it came down? What did you think about the ad? I don't know if you actually saw the whole ad, but it did leak. It's supposed to run during the Falcons-Eagles opener, but you can't stop the internet. It's already leaked.
Can't stop the internet. Internet undefeated. I think that as we have this conversation, it's a very important conversation to have, and it really speaks to what we're about as a brand and a show, which is educating, informing, and entertaining. So I think there's three real perspectives that you can take with this. At first, initially, as a black man, I said, about damn time that someone stands up and trumpets our cause, our heroes, and people that are standing for us in the public eye. That's the initial response. From there, I put on my business person's hat, my marketing hat, my analyst hat, and I understand that, number one, Nike is a global brand. And the United States of America is one country, although Alibaba is probably the biggest market in the world as a singular country. But it's one country, and Nike as a global brand is making so much money across the world. And they analyzed this move for at least, I would say, Dev, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the marketing guru and you understand the stats and the analytics. They had to analyze this for the impact, both short term and long term. They had to look at this for at least a year, if not two. And so for me, I know that they're betting on the fact that millennials and the younger generation, the globe over, they like rebellion. They like edgy. Nike has always tied itself to edgy sports figures. And there are a large cadre of kids who are 12 to 18, maybe even 12, you can call them 12 to 21, that hold Colin Kaepernick at minimum in high esteem, even if they don't necessarily relate to him and say, oh, he's a hero or this, that, and the third. They're like, oh, man, he stood up in the great giant NFL machine and the great giant, racist president of the United States, and all of that is against him. So we're for him. We're for him just for that. We don't understand even what his cause is. We just know he's edgy. We know he's a black purveyor of culture. We're behind it. So I think that's the bet that Nike is making, and I wouldn't bet against Nike's marketing and branding machine. And so from that context, I see this working out 20, 30, 40 years from now in Nike's favor. Right. That's my perspective.
Like you said, I mean, Nike isn't stupid. You know what I'm saying? And, they have a way these days of calculating how much brand exposure you get basically for free. And they've already calculated that their brand exposure on TV, radio, online, and social media since they first announced this campaign is already worth $163.5 million. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is, the individual boycotting, people being upset, burning up and cutting up clothes that you've already paid for. That kind of stuff really doesn't hurt a brand like Nike. And even the negative exposure on that side, because it's, this is a polarizing issue. So they're getting that same type of polarizing attention. So just as many people that are mad at Nike, there's just as many people who are like, oh man, I support them. Even people that really didn't support Nike in the past. So it was definitely a calculated risk. They knew exactly what they were doing. And for all of the people out there who were happy to see the stock price fall by 3% and wanted to write articles and say that they committed brand suicide, Nike knew exactly what was going to happen in the first few days. They knew that their stock price was going to drop once they did this. But, you know how we always say, some people are playing chess and some people are playing checkers. And there's a lot of people that just don't understand the business side of that. But what's maddening and makes me anxious, like if you go look at the comment sections or tweets or, anything negative about this whole thing and about Colin Kaepernick and how people are still out there deflecting and talking about the military and disrespecting the flag and all of this kind of stuff that was explained away over a year ago. Like, it just shows you why America is so divisive and why the country is in the state that it's in, because nobody really wants to listen to anybody. It's either your point of view, and even if you're being, even if people are explaining to you in great detail what something is about, like, if you don't like it, you're going to dismiss what they're saying it's about, and you're just going to make it about, what you want it to be about. Like, somebody asked this question to us earlier in a chat, and I think it was Casey Mack, so shout out to him if he's in the chat room, in the War Room Sports Game Time app right now. He asked, first of all, like, what's wrong? Like, when did kneeling become something negative? Because if you look at kneeling in the context of everything else, kneeling is kind of like a positive thing. Like, we kneel to pray. A lot of people kneel, like athletes kneel when somebody gets hurt. It shows respect. You kneel in front of kings and queens and stuff like that. Like, why in this particular instance, when a service member himself told him that kneeling would be better than simply just sitting down, like why is kneeling, or why do you think, B. Austin, in this situation, why is kneeling looked upon as such a bad thing?
Because the
narrative he could go full Mahmoud and just turn his back to the flag, and then they're gonna go out and
then it would
try
really
to
be
kill
on. He wouldn't get that. He wouldn't get that Nike money if he did that. I believe that people, white folks in this country, have created their own narrative. They are not willing to entertain the facts or entertain alternative perspectives. They have decided, and they're used to deciding for oppressed groups of people what is and is not acceptable, and on what terms that they will discuss and engage in conversation and even action around how America will change and how America will behave. That's what they do. And so this is uncomfortable. It is a divisive act. And so they're deciding.
Keep rapping. Screen team, keep rapping real quick.
Yeah, they've decided that this is the way that they're going to respond and react because they're uncomfortable with the larger discussion, or more likely that conversation is not important to them because they've decided that, well, you know, police violence against unarmed black men and women is not a big enough deal for you to protest in the manner that you're protesting. Listen, for years,
our games of amusement.
Especially our games of amusements. For years previous, in present day, and I will go forward and say into the future, white people's comfort is oftentimes, if not most times, more important than than addressing black people's oppression and black people's issue. White people's comfort is more important than black people's lives in a lot of our discussions at the highest level. And so that speaks to why they choose to ignore what Colin Kaepernick is protesting, because either A, they're uncomfortable, or B, again, I'll reiterate, B, I feel like it's not even discomfort. It's just, listen, I'll get around to that conversation when I feel like getting around to it, but you guys have had a black president. You guys are able to, you know, you've come so far since Martin Luther King and Medgar Evers and those type of folks. Why are you complaining? Why are you always complaining? There's black on black crime. Pull yourself up. But we have the bootstrap narrative too. Everybody got to pull themselves up by bootstraps. Why are black people always complaining? You can't pull yourself up by bootstraps. Haven't been given the boots or the straps. Hello. But
the worst part about this whole thing is all of those comments you just said. I heard from a couple of black people, some that we know this week, saying those exact things. It went straight to the, what about black on black crime? About, you know, a sneaker company backing Colin Kaepernick, and, you know, that's your first defense. Well, what about Chicago and black? I'm like, come on, man. Did you really?
What does that happen? It's disgusting. It really is disgusting, and it shows you just how far we have not come when it comes to race in America. And we're able to function without, you know, the white sheets and the white hoods being prevalent. But when it boils down to it, racism and white supremacy are still the culture that permeate American society, period. So,
all right, so let's we got some calls on the line. Let's go to the phone line, see what the people want to say about it. And we got the homie Court calling. Speaking of Chicago, we got the homie from the Chi calling. Court, what's going on? Welcome to the War Room, good brother.
What up, guys? First of all, I want to say salute to you guys on your 8th anniversary.
Thank you.
Man,
8 years, going strong. I
mean, that takes a lot of dedication. That takes a lot of research. I mean, people who listen, They just think you guys just talking and having fun. But they don't understand you guys are real journalists. You guys put hours in, you put work in, and I appreciate that, and I just want to give you guys a salute.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Man,
we appreciate it.
You don't know what that means to us, man. Your comments mean more than the groupies that wait outside when we come out of the studio.
No doubt. You know why? Because his comments is the reason we started doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, 8 years ago, we were like, okay, you know, we're going to incorporate this just because that's what we do. We're business guys, so we got to protect ourselves in certain ways. But we were like, man, if we don't make a shiny dime this whole time we do this, you know what I'm saying, we at least want to go out there and garner some respect because we want to kind of give something different than what people can see on TV every day or what they can hear on the radio every day, because a lot of those people and what they say is controlled. You know what I'm saying? So people can't always be 100% objective, or they can't speak their mind the way that we, you know, that we decided to speak our mind. So no, those comments, that's exactly what we were looking for when we started this. Like, yo, so Court, what did you think about this whole Nike and Kaepernick thing when it hit this week?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, like you guys pretty much touched on it. Nike, they're pretty much opportunists. To me, it's more about selling shoes. It's more about a business. They're looking at the long picture. Because if they was down with Cap, they would have jumped with Cap from the very beginning. So we can't really fall like they down for the people.
Kind of before
it's more about
they
business
saw how,
for them.
Before they saw how everything played out and found.
Exactly.
I mean, because I've heard that side of it as well. Like people kind of say, you know, they kind of waited until a safer time to jump in. And if you read Gus's article on the site, that's exactly what he's saying. But he's also taking it a little farther and, you know, bringing up the fact that Nike hasn't always been the most ethical of companies, because, you know, everybody's going to bring up that sweatshop argument. So yeah, it was a lot of that in there. So if you haven't yet, you know, when you get a chance, go to the website and read that and tell us what you think about it. But yeah, it's been a lot of angry people this week.
And I want you for your listeners, because I know you guys got listeners. For the listeners out there, please listen to Van Lathan's interview with Jason Whitlock. He read Jason Whitlock his rights. You guys got to check that out. I mean, you think he read Kanye his rights?
I got to check it out. I've purposely been trying to stay away from Jason Whitlock this week about this whole thing, but I got to go check that out.
Oh, yeah, he read him his rights, bro. He read him his rights. He really did.
You know, I just don't understand brothers like Whitlock sometimes, man. Like, there used to be things that he said, you know, as a journalist, when he was kind of shying away from, you know, his real thoughts on his own people, you know what I'm saying? There was some stuff I'm like, okay, you know, I'm never, because I hold myself to such standards to be objective, you know, there's really nobody out there where I just disagree with every single thing that they're saying. Like I can get some stuff from anybody, like, okay, I can understand that. I can agree with that. And then there's other stuff like, man, you crazy. So it used to be like that with Jason Whitlock, but it's like now every time he opens his mouth, I can't find anything that I can agree with. Like, because it seems like now he's doing it on purpose. Like he knows that's his rep, so he's going to go with it because he gets a lot of money to do it.
Hey, boss, what you want me to go on there and say today at the gun line, boss?
My man, like, look, if I can make a whole lot of money doing this, then I accept it. And now I'm just going to go overboard with it. I'm going to go extreme with it. So that's what I feel he's been doing for the last 5 years or so. All right, so anything else you want to wrap about? Yeah, we don't want to hijack you with our topic. Anything else you want to wrap about?
No, like, actually, I had a couple of sports things I was wanting to get at, but, I mean, with the climate right now, where we at, and plus to the beginning of the show, this all I'm on with this Kaepernick and all this stuff that's going on. So my last thing I want to touch on, do you guys, this is a hypothetical, do you guys think, let's just say, LeVar Ball, for as polarizing as he is, let's just say if he would have reached out to Colin Kaepernick, do you guys think that Kaepernick would have did a deal with Big Baller Brand?
Why would he when LeVar Ball is almost the same thing as Jason Whitlock?
B. Now that's one dude. B. He can't find nothing. Now he's a prime example. Like I can listen to LeVar talk and be like, yo, I see that, but then I can on other things I'm like, dude, you need to chill.
I can't.
The only reason I'm gonna say no is because I found out through reading that Colin Kaepernick was signed to Nike this whole time. So he wouldn't have been able to do anything with LeVar Ball if he wanted to. He's been signed to Nike ever since, he was still Colin Kaepernick going to the Super Bowl. They were just, they were putting his face out in their ads like they used to while all of this stuff was going on. So, yeah, he's still been there since like 2011 or so, but they're just now putting him in the forefront of an advertising campaign.
So he always been a part of Nike. I didn't know that. He always been signed with Nike. Yeah. Okay.
So that's another thing we found out this week. Like all of this time, standing with Cap and a lot of people boycotting the league because of Cap. Like Cap was still getting a check, and I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Because, we tell people that all the time. Like, why do people think that activism, like, why do you have to be broke to be an activist?
Why you got to be broke?
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, activism doesn't mean poverty. Like, it's kind of better if you have some change if you're an activist because you can sometimes put your money where your mouth is, like Cap has done, to get some things done. So I'm not mad at him for that. The only thing that was always strange to me is while we were all out here stomping for Cap, like he never said anything. After that first time that he explained why he was protesting, like he didn't say anything. So we didn't know where his head was. Like, look, dude, are you even trying to get back into the NFL? Because that's how some people's boycotts are kind of, plotted out. Like, well, I'm not watching until Cap gets a job. But I'm sitting back here myself like, I don't even know if Cap wants a job. Have y'all asked him?
Right.
Has he told you?
Right. He ain't said nothing.
So I definitely couldn't be on my, I'm not going to watch it until Cap get a job because, I don't know if Cap wants to play in the NFL. And judging by the fact that he has a standing collusion case against the NFL, that would tell me at this point no, because you're not going to play in the NFL while you are suing them. So yeah, I would like to hear from him more. So, all these people that support him will kind of know which direction we should be going. Like we need some guidance on this thing. But no,
I feel the complete opposite of that. Like for me, I think his silence spoke more because he did the work while he was silent. So, and I also feel like
Jim, that's fine. All I'm saying is for the people, because you know the people too. I mean, yours is totally different, but there's a lot of people out there who's like boycotting the NFL until Cap gets a job. I still hear that. Like yesterday, I saw somebody post that. Like, I'm still not watching the season until Cap gets a job. I'm like, but we don't even know if Cap wants a job. That's all I'm saying. Like, he needs to tell those people. Like,
but he did. But the thing is, he did in between the time he made the first statement, and in between the time he made the first statement, he did come out and say, "I want to play." That was all he said, but he did say that. He said, "I want to play. I'm still working out. I'm in great shape." He said that, but that was like after he made that one statement, and he said it, but that's pretty much all he said.
And I don't even think that's an issue now, though, because he got the case against him. So if you're boycotting to see him get a job, then you might be waiting for a very long time because he might be out of that now. But no, Jimmy's right. At the beginning, he was working out. He even took some visits with the Ravens.
Unless the collusion case was like, maybe if I put this case together, they'll throw me a bone, you know what I mean, as opposed to going through with it. Like, now you got a job. But at the same time, though.
Like settlement. You're going to settle
I mean.
By giving him a gig.
Because the thing is, we all know that he's never playing again. He's never playing again. So it was like a last-ditch effort at Hail Mary. And also, considering the league lost summary judgment, there's something there.
I see what you did.
Because if there was nothing there.
The Hail Marys and stuff like that.
yeah, bars. But
man, thanks for your call, man. We appreciate the support, good brother.
One more thing, though, Dad. One more thing.
Oh, go.
Okay. What do you guys? This is what I think. I think that we really need for a star, not just one. We need for star white athletes to really start stepping up. I believe you guys said this a couple of shows ago, but that's what we really need. We need to start having these star white athletes to stand up, just the way Nike want to come behind the calls, but they just want to have them on the backfield. Yeah, that's what we need.
Okay, yeah, we definitely do. Like, I hate to have to depend on that, but having that would bring out the hypocrites because, Aaron Rodgers said something, but I wasn't as excited about what he said as a lot of other people were because it's still his words. If Aaron Rodgers came out, took a knee, threw the fist up, or, put his arm around his black brothers while they were doing it, just anything more than just lip service, you know what I'm saying? That would test the hypocrisy of the people. Like, let's see if they get mad at Aaron Rodgers like that. Especially, the people in Green Bay aren't going to get mad at him, but some of them are already mad at Kaepernick. So, that tests out the hypocrisy. And maybe they hear it from somebody that they want to give time to. Not that it's going to change their mind, but like I said, it's just going to highlight the hypocrisy because they're going to probably not be as mad at that person. They're probably going to even start to say things like, well, I kind of understand what you're saying when we've been saying it for over a year. So, yeah, I think it would definitely help. Like I said, I don't like to depend on it. But, if you look through history, that has always helped the movement when you had some people from, that race who were 100% down for it and ready to risk it all. But, Court, man, thanks for your call. We always appreciate it.
All right, guys. All right.
Keep that Jordan slander coming.
All right, man. Talk to you. Yeah. So, Tobias, hang tight. We're about to come to you. I wanted to get some opinion from Jimmy since he just jumped on. Jim, this was one of the things that started coming out later in the week, even for people that were supporting the Nike move and people that support Kaepernick, there's been the notion like, okay, after further thought, like Nike is just doing what the company does. Because, Nike started to get a lot of support, even people who didn't really bang with Nike before. Like, man, I'm going to support them for this move. But then it seems like upon further review, I hear more people saying, well, Nike's just being opportunist right now. They threw him out there at the opportune time, and they're just doing that. Do you think that that's the case, or do you think it's genuine?
All right, but this is very interesting to me because, and we actually fall in this bucket I'm getting ready to say. What I noticed is people had an immediate emotional reaction to the ad. Then, once the people who made their thoughts known, the people who were how should I put this? People that move culture, or people that tell other people how to think. And and this is like not to jump on our own wood, Paul, but people have told us, like, I was waiting to hear how y'all felt about it to kind of like make their mind up, right? So,
Jim, me, I knock my own like I'm on my own.
You can keep it.
I already know that shot.
We are cultural influencers. We tell them what to think.
Because the thing is, I have a love-hate relationship with Nike myself, and for me, it's not just about the child labor. My love-hate relationship with Nike is just because I just think that I'm thorough, and I was brought up that when everybody goes right, you go left. And Nike is like Apple. It's like that brand that is so powerful that just the logo itself has power. And I come from
talking to you, Philmatic.
Community.
They can sell your shoes that fall apart in 3 days.
But I wouldn't even say nothing to Phil. But me and Phil had this conversation last night. I was telling him, I was like, what kind of like started turning me on Nike is when I actually read Phil Knight's memoirs and to see where he took it from to where he got it. It's like I was completely impressed. And it's a book called Shoe Dog, by the way, for those, because I got to get my book recommendations on here. It's a book called Shoe Dog, which journeys his life. And when you see where he took it from, I was like, damn, like how could I not appreciate him? But at the same time, that's why I said I have a love-hate relationship. When this news broke, I thought it was thorough just because I couldn't believe the amount of tears I saw coming from the tartar sauce community. Like, they were so upset. Like they were so upset. I couldn't believe it. They were more upset at I see you finally catching on. They were more upset at this than than like Kaepernick. Like, I couldn't believe it. So I've actually found that entertaining. But when I think about where Nike stands and what they're doing, to me, they're a company. A company's only responsibility, in my opinion, is to its shareholders and nobody else. So whether you feel like they're leaning towards the left, leaning towards the right, I feel like they're doing what's in the best interest of their shareholder. Which interesting is, and I am a shareholder of Nike, because even as much Nike slander as I have for companies like Nike and Apple, and I just said that I always compare those two, I actually own stock in both of them. And the reason being is because when you build a brand that strong, you know that they'll always have amazing revenue, they pay amazing dividends, and it's a great investment. So, and I'm not giving investment advice to anybody listening. I'm not telling you to go buy that, so don't try to kill me. Anyway, but my point is, their only obligation.
He was the first stock I ever bought. I bought Nike stock in college.
Yeah. And
not because I was smart, because I wore Nikes.
It's what you know. Like for me, right? And this shows how much. This show how. Be awesome. Listen to this. This show how I'm a complete fat boy. The first two stocks I bought were Coca-Cola and McDonald's, right? And it's not just because I'm a fat boy. It's the fact that it's the fact that there's certain brands, right, that are more powerful than anything they do. Who doesn't know the Golden Arches? Who doesn't know the Coca-Cola logo? Like companies like Nike, Apple, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Home Depot. These brands only owe nothing to us. They owe nothing socially. And some people have a different opinion, like companies should be socially responsible. A company's only obligation is to its shareholders. Yeah. So even if you know you have shareholders who really hate Colin Kaepernick's guts, what Jimmy is trying to tell you guys, your responsibility to them is financial. So if you know you're going to do something controversial, but it's going to be in the long run, it's going to be beneficial financially. That's all you have. And all of us have been to business school, right? So there's a thing called social capital, right? So even when you see a company who does good deeds in the community and who does good things, that's about building up social capital. So even that is done to build value to the shareholder. So if anyone actually reads Nike's reports, and one drops within the next week or so, the quarterly report, and you look at the demographics that they skew, I didn't even recognize this till recently, that Nike skews very young in comparison to other brands. Like, 2/3 of the people that buy Nike products are younger than 40 years old. That's very young in terms of how a company skews. And what I also noticed is there was a big sell-off on Nike stock the day after this whole news broke, but then there was a block of purchase stock on Robinhood, which skews to a younger demographic. So it looks like millennials are actually buying into Nike from an investment standpoint. And a lot of them, Colin Kaepernick is their Ali. And no, I'm not comparing him to Ali because it's different situations, different circumstances, different times. But this is their guy, right? They're not as connected or as close to other guys as we are. So this is their guy. And they support this. Their demographic supports this. So, and also Nike, to me, is interesting how they can like live with controversy. When I look back at the history, which is also like mentioned in the book, and you talk about the things that Barkley went through, throwing somebody through a window, spitting on a little girl, Nike stood by him. When Tiger lost Buick, he lost Gillette, he lost everybody. Nike stood by him. They had just signed Kobe when Kobe allegedly took the booty, and they stood by him, right? So they have a history of standing by their athletes, good, bad, or indifferent. And also, what's interesting about Nike is they have a LeBron and a Kaepernick who, are quote-unquote, and this is not my opinion, but what the media will tell you, are revolutionary. But they also have someone like a Michael Jordan who is Republicans buy sneakers too. So they run the gamut. Like, so I don't even think they're taking a side when you look at where they stand overall. They're doing business. We're going to go this way and we're going to go this way, right? But, I mean, the reaction is crazy, but I think that's the reaction in 2018. And it's also a situation where I can't really get at him, and I don't want to say anything overtly racist. So this is my way of being racist without being racist, because people don't understand how stupid their arguments sound. Like, when you think about this, right, on a bigger level, you're saying you're mad at a company for supporting a guy who kneeled to bring attention to oppression, to people who are being oppressed.
Right.
This is what you're mad at.
How much of a monster do you have to be? Like,
you are burning your sneakers. And it's funny because that meme that was like going viral about the Catholic Church, that was like the realest thing I've ever seen. Sometimes memes are actually funny, and that was a good one. Like, y'all didn't get this mad at the Catholic Church. Like, you really didn't. And
they smashed
the hypocrisy is crazy. Like, the Catholic Church is literally out here taking your little boy's manhinding, and y'all don't even care about that. But this dude kneeled just to bring attention. So it's so many things that go into the story, which to me makes such an interesting story. Because I
ain't see nobody burning their Black Forest ham when the dude Jarrett at Subway was doing what he was doing.
And yeah, you told me something earlier because I saw that story on IG, on Twitter about Ford and Ford coming out in defense of the players. I didn't even realize that was from last year until you said it.
It was a year ago.
Like,
yeah, people are posting that like it's a true story. Like, okay, they're coming behind Nike saying that they support the players and what they're doing. No, that's from September of 2017, and you haven't heard a peep about it until now when people think that they followed up Nike. People not giving up them F-150s.
Yo,
I don't see nobody
driving,
jumping out the moving vehicle and letting their F-150 ride off a cliff. But you got people out here burning their shoes while they're still on their feet.
I guarantee you that if we took the time, this is for my nerds out there, if we took the time to run a regression model, there would be a huge correlation between people who own F-150s and are the descendants of slave owners. That number would light up and jump off the chart.
So Jimmy got a lot of Don DeMarcos this evening, man. A lot of Don DeMarcos, man.
I mean, because I've been thinking about that. I've been waiting for to talk about this topic because, like, to me, like the reaction, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, wow.
Nah, I could believe it, and there's another thing that we say on this program, which credit to you, about how history will perceive people when we look back on a particular time and space or a particular date in history or time period. And when you look at this and you trace the behavior and you really examine how putrid and how disgusting and how bestial these folks are in being so angry at a human being standing up against oppression, when people look back on this 15, 20, 40, 50 years from
you're gonna be on the wrong side, Jim. You're gonna be on that Patriot sideline, not the Eagle sideline.
Yo, that is yo, that's a fire point. And here's what's unique about that, right? What's unique about that is you see people now, and they talk about Dr. King, and even some people, not most, but some people talk about X as like, oh, man, what great humans they were. But when I read history, and you can actually read newspaper clippings, like, yo, Dr. King used to get punched in his face just walking down the street. Like, and I'm talking about he used to get vitriol and hate from his own people, from the other side. No one
make it matter.
And it's crazy. There's HBO has a documentary about the last couple of years of his life, and it's literally one of the saddest things I've ever seen. I watched it on a plane, and by the time I landed, I was like, my allergies was acting up. Let's put it that way. But the thing
white people didn't like Muhammad Ali. White people didn't like Muhammad Ali until he couldn't talk and was sick. They didn't like him.
But here's what's interesting about that. If you ask any of them now, they say, no, I always liked Ali. I always was on this side, right? But here's what's interesting is now you're putting your thoughts out there. Screenshots live forever. So this generation is not going to be able to do what the other one did and just have revisionist history. Shout out to Malcolm Gladwell. You're not going to be able to have revisionist history because now those screenshots going to live forever, and those messages and thoughts that you put out there. And I do think about like how people fall in terms of history, right? And shout out to George W. Bush, right? Because I never forget when he left office, he was like, yo, history's going to tell he said, I don't care what none of y'all say. History will tell how good or bad I did as a president. And I bring that up because it's funny now with the president we have. People are like, yo, I wish Bush was back. Like, anyway. But but you bring up a great point because it's going to be interesting to see, like, Kaepernick in history is going to be looked at like an Ali, even though it's not the same. I hate saying that because people try to jump onto you're comparing him to him, and that's not what I'm doing. Ali was at a whole different level. But at the same time, that's how history is going to do that because of marketing. And also now, we know how Nike can make you a god. Nike has the marketing ability to put you somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. But no, like you said, a lot of people are gonna have them hard drives. They're gonna bring it out. When people start lying.
Yes, they will.
But we're gonna get to the phone lines because we got Tobias on the line. But I just want to add a statistic I found to what Jimmy was saying. Not only do they have such a large contingency of customers under the age of 40, but 60% of their full year revenue is generated outside of North America. And y'all know a lot of people outside of America and overseas, they don't like how America handles race issues in the first place. So anyway, it's going to be a windfall of cash. You got all of these people that are so happy that their stock dropped like that, but that happens around any controversy. It's going to do that.
But you know what,
you
though?
can tell who doesn't understand the market.
Listen, I follow the stock market every day. The day that stock dropped 3%, the entire market was down maybe I think 4%.
Adidas dropped 2.6
Adidas was down
the same day.
Adidas was down 6% over that same time period between now and then. Adidas went down 6%. So my thing is, it had nothing to do with that. It was just a regular market swing. You know what I'm saying? So people could take credit for it.
No, Jimmy. That doesn't fit our narrative. That doesn't fit the narrative.
Right.
I know facts don't matter. Facts don't matter.
Facts never matter. All right, I'm Tobias Pollard, man. He keeps saying he's gonna get to me. I want to give a shout out to Skyview in the chat room. He said he's disappointed in a few of his white friends. He said Nike needs an invitation to this year's Players Ball for that one. A renewed shout out to Randy Jean Moss, and then he, the support one. He said y'all should have passed the rock in honor of 8 successful years. You're right. We should have done that. We ain't playing this. We messing up. But he said, by the way, congrats. Very professionally run show. 8 years, not by accident. Thank you, Skyview. And your support is important to us, man, and we appreciate it as well. So let's get to Tobias, another longtime supporter who's been on the line for a long time. It's not my fault, Tobias. It's Jimmy and B's fault. What's up, man?
This is why I go to white podcasts. They get to you. See how black folks do you, man? What's going on, fellas? Hey, first thing, good stuff for 8 years, man. Happy for you guys. Before I get to my Kaepernick thing, gotta ask y'all one question. Did y'all see my boy last week, Tua, the GOAT, Tagovailoa, last week?
People don't know. People don't understand. Tobias has been talking about Tua in the group chat
for a year now.
Since that game. Well, yeah, for a year definitely, but since that game,
before
he'll
then
pop
also
up randomly, like every 2 days. Like, y'all see how my man Tua was throwing that thing around the yard? And I think people purposely be ignoring him just to get under your skin. But no, I mean,
hey, don't worry.
We agree with you. Like Jalen Hurts, at this point, it's time for your man Saban to stop, sparing that man's feelings and stop with this And the only reason he's going to do this 2 quarterback thing is because, there's nobody that's going to be able to beat Alabama. But I bet you when they go against stiffer competition, it's going to be, the time is going to be doled out a little bit differently. Jalen Hurts is going to be in there on rundowns.
Yeah, and the thing is, what people don't understand about switching quarterback is that, one, you break up the rhythm of the other guy. That's the one thing. And two,
especially the guy that can actually get into a rhythm. Hurts not going to be hurt.
He can throw the ball. And and see, what people don't realize about passing, Alabama was god-awful the past 2 years on third down because we had a guy that couldn't throw. He'll run. He'll wait a half second in the pocket and start running. But this guy here could throw the ball because against the great stiff competition, you have to throw the ball. You have to take risks. Sometimes you may throw a pick. Who cares? But sometimes you got to take those chances, though. And but about Kaepernick, MAGA is hot. MAGA is madder than a hornet. But it's like, I'm not even looking at it like Nike cares about the community. It's a business. It's a business. They're about making money. And this guy registers what MAGA they don't want to understand. Not just black people. Young people are registering with Kaepernick. Young people are like believing his story. And I've always believed none of this would have happened. Yes, I believe none of this would have happened if the NFL some team would have given him a shot in camp, just a shot, none of this would be happening right now because he probably would have had a job. The story would have gone away after a press conference or two in MAGA. And also, MAGA, hey, guys, burning your Jumpmans don't count as burning your Air Jordans. Nobody claims Jumpmans or your Dick's Sporting Goods Nikes or your TJ Maxx shorts.
No, you're right. I mean, they're playing their own part into making him a martyr. So, don't get mad when he gets this kind of attention. Like, y'all rooted against him getting another NFL job.
And he's getting a check. He's going to get a check from the NFL inclusion suit. They're going to have to cut him a really huge check. But like I listened to you guys earlier, who that like? You got these coons like Whitlock talking about he's in it for the money. Kaepernick was trying to have a job, but they took his job away because he stood up for black people. And everybody keeps talking about, well, we want him to speak. But he spoke already when he first did it. How many times do you want him to talk in circles about it? And especially when he got this suit going on.
I don't understand. And, Jimmy and I and B, we've talked about this plenty of times. We just don't understand why people think that activists have to be poor. I don't understand that. Like, you got to forego all payments. He getting a check, so he's not real.
That is utterly ridiculous, yo. Like, who said you got to be poor to
get more done with
the black one?
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Because right now they call him Bill Gates an activist because of the way he's running his foundation. But he's one of the richest men in the world, so he gets to be an activist and have bread, but other people can't.
Hey guys, I got to bring this up. I know y'all know who Richard Spencer is. Richard Spencer, one of the biggest white supremacists on earth. He's actually the face of it. But he gets funded by so many rich white people behind the scenes. But also, his family has money. So he's not poor. But yet, you got the white supremacists here who can have money. The way to get your agenda pushed is to have money to fund those organizations, to get access to government.
They know that, and so it's been reversed in popular culture. The image of the struggling artist or the poor activist has been pushed because it fits their agenda. How many poor activists are ever really going to be successful? So if the notion was pushed that you have to have an economic base in order to affect change, would have changed long ago. That's why we don't concentrate in our movements on the economic sustainability, but more the validity of the cause and being true to it and all of that. If you have the money to buy policy, if you, I always wanted Don DeMarco. If you have the economic base and power to buy policy, then things get changed. To pick on a particular segment of people who do this, look at certain Asian communities. Salute to them. They do not come out and vote. They band together and they buy the politicians and the policy that they need to impact their community. That's it. Special interest, y'all.
And let's be honest here, guys and gals. I heard, like, Shannon Sharp was talking about, like, this morning. I listened to it while I was getting ready to hop on the plane. We were talking about, like, the NFL likes Malcolm Jenkins. No disrespect to him. They look at, he's like a Martin Luther King type. Kaepernick is like a Malcolm X. But the thing with a lot of black people, I need them to understand who listen to this. Dr. King did not get assassinated because he wanted to integrate the lunch counter. He got assassinated because he was about them people getting their check, the reparations, and fighting for the poor people economics. That's why I want people to understand. Trying to get their approval and integrating, they ain't going to get you killed. That'll get you pat on the head, get you a handshake, even get you a check because get this.
Look at him. He's so cute. Yeah. Integrate. You guys can have a white girl every now and then, and, you can, one or two of you can live in this neighborhood, but when it starts having impact on a socioeconomic level, we got to get rid of that dude. Yeah, we got to get rid of it.
I'm telling y'all, it's a documentary. It's called King in the Wilderness. If none of y'all have seen that, look up this documentary called King in the Wilderness. It's so powerful because it gives you a different perspective of how he's like when his birthday comes around, they celebrate and they show they show the I Have a Dream speech and all that. And if you see his other speeches and some of his more Dr. King really was a revolutionary, but they're not going to tell you that part. You know what I'm saying?
He learned.
Take the soft parts.
And he was getting funded too. He was getting bread, and he was out there getting yams. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he had a whole other side to him. But look at King in the Wilderness. It's a great documentary. It's on HBO. But to your point about him talking about economics, when he starts talking about economics, next thing you know, my man is out of here. You talk about civil rights all day long. You start talking about that bread. We got issues.
That may or may not become an issue with this whole Nike supporting Kaepernick, the other young lady that plays tennis, and LeBron, because LeBron and his team are about that socioeconomic needle moving, and that's one of the dudes that I feel a little bit of fear for. I'm not quite sure where LeBron lands in terms of his activism, but if he's going to fall a little bit further to the left and just get a little more radical with the amount of money that he makes and generates, they might have to get Trump out of here because he's too influential and makes too much money move, even more so than Kaepernick. Kaepernick is an irritant.
That's why
he's an irritant to them. But when you start making money move, then you become a threat. They're okay with irritants.
And that's why it's up to us to protect. We got to protect the people that are looking out for our best interests. If you believe indeed they're looking out for our best interests, you know what I'm saying? Because that could be debated too. But I mean, that's a whole other show. But Tobias, man, great points, man, as always.
Can I say this one last thing real quick?
Go ahead.
Y'all talking about LeBron real quick. LeBron remember, everybody know the story about LeBron helping his boys out, putting them on. But see, what happens, a lot of black people who got rich and made it don't do what LeBron did. In case something does happen, he got people he put on. He made kings out of them so they could soften that blow in case white supremacy come after him. He's not going to be alone.
Tobias, there's a reason that people try and make nepotism out to be a bad thing when nepotism is actually a good thing. Salute to LeBron and that.
If you ever listen to Maverick Carter in an interview or Rich Paul, they tried that. What I mean by that is they tried the whole the Rockefeller thing. Like we gonna kill whatever you're building just by getting you in different rooms and telling you this about that person, that about that person. Like people tried it. Other agents tried that. Like with his friends and everything. Like, no, you got to separate yourself. You got to do this. And they went to him like, you don't need your friends. And, you know what I mean? So people tried him. But the fact is, it wasn't just his loyalty. It's also their loyalty to him. So that goes both ways.
Yep.
Yeah, that goes both ways.
You guys have a good weekend, guys.
All right, you too, man. Roll damn tide.
Take it easy, homie. Yeah, they've always had his back, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so, man, interesting times we're living in, man. I feel like we're doing this podcast in the 1960s, man. It's 2018. What's popping?
No, right? We back to the future.
I'm ready to go sit at the counter or something. I'm ready to go sit at the counter or something, man. What's popping?
You punched in my face. All right, so real quick, man, stat of the week before we move on to some grind topics. This is the stat of the week. It's a baseball stat. MLB teams were, now listen to this, 0-487 this season when down by 6 or more runs entering the 8th inning. The Red Sox put an end to that streak this week as they overcame a 7-1 deficit to the Braves and came back and beat them 9-8 in Atlanta. So, if you're down 6 runs or more going into the 8th, you cooked. Only one team in 488 games this season that had that situation actually won the game. That's crazy.
So the Red Sox basically said, anything is possible.
Hey, that's Boston for you. They Boston strong. All right, so real quick before Jimmy tells us what happened while we're on the grind, y'all can check out our website at worldroomsports.com. But if you guys want to talk about any of the topics that we're rapping about today, just dial the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. Press 1 when you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to holler.
Yes, sir. And it's time to talk about what happened while you were on the grind, and that is brought to you by Sports to Book. If you're tired of reading trash sports book, here's what you do. You go to sportstobook.com or warroomsports.com, and you pick up Sports to Book. It's the single greatest sports book ever written, the Illmatic of sports books, and you have to get it. You got to make sure you pass it around. You know, it's all about that literature. But don't miss the movement. But, yo, I got a couple topics I want to bring up before we, move on and talk to birthdays. The first one, shout out to our brothers, Phil and Survive from Tissue and the Tape, because I'm on their recent episode getting ready to drop, and they asked me a question about the Philly Special statue, which is placed outside of the link. Because everybody, it just happened in the Super Bowl, and there's already a statue of it. A shout out to Bud Light, you know what I'm saying, for doing what they're doing, looking out for shareholder value. You know what I'm saying? Looking out for their shareholders, doing something to get attention in terms of marketing. But the question they asked me, and I'm gonna steal their question, is it too soon?
Never.
See now, because I gotta stay objective because I've been hard on all that, but I've been hard on a lot of on the culture lately of everybody gets a statue. Like as soon as you retire, you're getting a statue. As soon as you retire, you're getting a statue. To be honest, to be real, it's too soon. But then you also have to think about what soon means in a city like Philadelphia for a franchise like the Eagles. Like a lot of those fans waited a long time for that. So
their whole life.
I don't know. And I always razz Phil about, because he's a 49ers fan. I always talk about, especially because they just made the announcement like last month that they're going to make a statue of the catch. And, I've seen the catch a million times, and I think it's one of the most overrated moments in NFL history. So shout out to Phil. Like I told him yesterday, Philly Special greater than the catch. That might have led to some stuff where you might give it credit for leading to some stuff, but this actually won a Super Bowl. And for such a smart fan base, like, I don't think it's going to be anybody out there that's thinking, man, this is too soon. But, I'm different in how we look at the culture, the Koloff culture.
I'm gonna recycle my bars like I went on a radio show and spit bars and then like spit them on my album. So this is my album right here.
I do that every week. I'm on something else.
Basically,
when we do football picks, I'm about to do my whole cover 2 thing.
I answered the question with a question, which is, what does it mean to be too soon in 2018? 10, 15 years ago, I probably would have said this is too soon. But in 2018, the way things like just come and go so fast, I don't even know what too soon means. Like,
so are we compromising our beliefs based on the time we live in, or?
I didn't say anything about my beliefs, though.
You know why I would say it's too soon, though? Because the principles, the statue are still there. Like, this is still Philadelphia. At some point, the Eagles are going to fall off. Could be this year. And they're going to be the coach's job. You know what I'm saying? And the quarterback is just a backup. So he might be straight.
But you also have to look at what it was. It was a gift from Bud Light. Like, so this is part of Bud Light's marketing, right? So the season's getting ready to start. The whole dilly Philly thing, like they're capitalizing on that and that relationship and that whole moment by, okay, the season getting ready to start. How we going to like draw attention to Bud Light? Because it came from Bud Light. It was tweeted on their account. It was on Bud Light Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and so I look at it for what it's worth. They're jumping on the thing because 2 weeks from now, ain't nobody gonna care anyway. Once the season starts, then nobody care about the statue.
Do you know how much of a godsend it was to Bud Light that the Eagles won the Super Bowl in the midst of that whole campaign with the like the fact that it rhymes with the tagline of the commercial. Like, it was so perfect for them. Because, if everybody knows, if you go around from NFL city to NFL city, Bud is an NFL sponsor. So every city you go into, those same billboards you think they, showing your team all this love when you ride through Philly, they got them same billboards everywhere else with a different logo on it.
Yeah.
But like me and Jimmy was just saying, though, it was like the perfect timing for Philly to actually win the Super Bowl because they had this whole medieval campaign going on where every commercial said dilly dilly. So now you can add dilly dilly, Philly, Philly. They're making so much money off of that, especially in the Philly region. It's a shame.
So that's
I
what
guess,
I'm saying. So for me, like,
they figured,
it's not about my beliefs. I'm just talking about what the facts are. So it's not how I believe. I'm not saying how I believe one way or another. I'm just saying the facts are in 2018 things go fast because and we always blame social media, but it's social media in combination with the 24/7 news cycle. Like information comes and goes so fast, which is why like when athletes get in trouble, it's like, yo, you can just weather the storm for this one day. Ain't nobody gonna care tomorrow because somebody else gonna do something stupid. and shout out to them because they keep us employed because we always got something to talk about. It could be like no sports going on. Somebody either beating up their woman, they getting locked up, they insider trading, they you know what I'm saying? Like they keep us employed because that 24 is always something to talk about.
Yo, I know this is completely and utterly unrelated. I just have to bring this up, man. Yo, did y'all know Lamar Odom had 12 strokes and 6 heart attacks?
I
have no idea where that came from, but I didn't know that. From the drug use?
He was on that Kevin Hart talking about that. That little when they be in the ice tub talking.
How is he still here?
Yeah, he did all that in the coma. So I mean, maybe it was controlled since they had him. He was in a comatose state. I don't know. I don't know nothing about medicine. I'm just making stuff up right now. But one last thing about too soon, especially for Phil and Survive. Like, no, real talk. I would say it's too soon, and for the reason I had already started on, the fact that the principles of the statute are still here. Second year, the coach wins a Super Bowl. He could go the next 6 years and not even make the playoffs, and that statue's gonna start to get vandalized, and they're gonna be calling for his head. So, is that that kind of stuff? You gotta give fans time to decompress. You gotta give fans time to decompress, and then you bring it back as a positive memory from a few years back.
Yo, I'm telling you, I've been born and raised in Philadelphia, been here forever. I've never felt energy like this in the city before the football season ever. And what I mean by that is, it's like people got their meal now. They're content. Like, it almost like people, don't get me wrong, they're going to be there cheering. They're going to go through the ups and downs of a football season. But I don't think they care as much. It legit, we got it.
Yo, Eagles about to be 7-9.
And guess what? They're probably still they're going to block. They're going to block a block off. They're going to put the joint up, and they're going to watch the Patriots Eagles again. That's what they're going to do. Like, it's very weird. So for that reason, I don't.
Even in Philly, Jim, it ain't going to last that long though. We on to the next thing quicker than we say we're going to.
We are, but we aren't. All right. So we'll be on to the next thing. Then when the next thing comes, and if they don't do anything right away, it's going to be like, man. It's like, the 93 Phillies still get love in the city. The 93 Phillies get more love than the 2008 Phillies, and the 2008 Phillies actually, won a chip. But it's certain teams, because of the way they win.
2008 was fantastic.
But that's also like the last year's Eagles. It's not just that they won. It's the team that did win with the injury to the quarterback. And everybody thinking the season's going to be over. Going up against New England as the underdog. That's why it's bigger than just that bowl. That team is going to be immortalized forever. Now, if they don't have success over the next couple of years, I'm not saying they're not going to call for the coach's head, but as soon as they call for his head, the very next day they're going to be back. They're going to be back to giving him a Blumpkin. Like, he can do no wrong in this city.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, once he's gone, then it's going to be like, all right, you still eat cheesesteaks for life. We just need to get you up out of here. And I would say, that would be the time to bring it back and okay, for his contributions to the city, but hey, like you said, we living in different times, man. So
absolutely,
people ready to throw stuff up quick as hell.
Listen, man.
All right, what else going on? Cause we late.
Chris Brown, Chris Brown and his BM, they all up in court and whatnot. And part of a deposition came out that she had a business that was started with a $20,000 gift from Floyd Mayweather Jr. So I just want to know, is he back into his scumbag behaviors?
Floyd Drakeweather Jr. I read that, she didn't even want to tell them who her original, quote-unquote, investor, benefactor, gift giver was. But because they were, going through this stuff, Chris Brown's attorneys demanded that they disclosed that information. So it was obviously something that he didn't know. And, you know, they were cool. Like when I was reading the story, you know how related stories pop up, and there was one, like with a video of Chris Brown all on, you know, Mayweather's knob, congratulating him. I think they were at like a celebrity basketball game, and Chris Brown was, you know, congratulating him on this and that. But then I heard that Floyd may have done it on some petty stuff. Remember Chris Brown and Soulja Boy were supposed to have that celebrity boxing match, and Floyd was supposed to train Soulja Boy. Chris Brown backed out of the fight. So, and this is just speculation on the part of the author, whoever wrote what I was reading, but they're thinking, you know, maybe he has sour feelings with Chris Brown over that because, you know, there was some money to be made in that whole thing, and backed out, messed up the whole deal. So, you know, Floyd's way of getting at you is getting at your chick.
Yo, Floyd is terrible, man. Yo, shout out to Chris Brown because also
Floyd,
part of
Drake
this.
Drake would have just
also, yeah, he wouldn't give her no bread. Yo, also part of this joint came out that Chris Brown, even after all the controversy and things he's been through, generates $360,000 a month. So shout out to him for somehow being able to do that after like putting the beats on somebody so publicly.
Catalog.
Beats by Chris. Breezy.
Yo, anyway, your man Braylon Edwards. You guys remember Braylon Edwards from Michigan, right? Braylon Edwards.
Can't catch a regular
pass.
Catch like the most difficult pass you ever thrown. I remember Braylon.
Yeah, he one of them boys. Like, so Braylon Edwards, he has like an ongoing feud with Jim Harbaugh, and he got suspended from his TV gig because he took it a step too far, at least in their opinion, in terms of his critique for one Jim Harbaugh, and he was slandering the team too. Like some of the stuff he was saying, I'm like, come on, cuz like.
Yeah, when kids, you work for the station, there's some things you can say it, but you have to say it in a more political way. You don't own the company. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't us.
Yeah, like yo, shout to those people trying to cut us a check because I will chill. But anyway,
I got one of the
I'm like,
I got one of the quotes. After a game, he was like, Ruiz is weak. Talk about their center and their quarterback, Shea Patterson. He said, Ruiz is weak, line is weak, Shea is scared, effing Michigan offense is so predictable. He said, Michigan football is sadly one thing, trash. But this is somebody who's an analyst on the Big Ten Network. Like, so,
you know what's crazy about that? He is the third analyst, and he wasn't even the first one that had this thought. I saw it online and on TV. I was just like flipping through FS1. Shout out to FS1 because, like, you know, no shots, but they kicking ESPN butt right now. But anyway, one of the analysts on FS1 in the college football show said that Michigan's problem is their offense is so predictable. He kind of said the same things, but he didn't say it that way, and it was like it came off so different. Like, you're talking about kids. So I saw multiple analysts talk about how predictable their offense is, which leads, I don't know, but it leads me to believe, hey, it must be true if everybody's seeing the same thing. And they were saying that the last team they played, whoever it was literally calling out their plays.
Yo. Well, Fred will come on with us for the NFL talk in a few minutes, so we can throw that question to him when he comes on about the predictability of Michigan's offense. But, yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but, he has a lot vested. He used to play there, so you understand why he's feeling. So he feels the coach that's there now is not good for the program. I guess he's going to ramp up his language that he uses to try to get the dude out, but he got nobody out himself.
Yo, but Dad, here's the thing. In saying all that, he didn't say anything about Harbaugh.
Well, they said, not in those comments, but they said they've been kind of going at Harbaugh.
Oh, no, they've been going at it. But the comments that got everybody heated is because if you focus all your energy on Harbaugh, you're supposed to. That's his job. Right. But when you start talking, that's the same reason that the boy went crazy before with I'm a man, I'm 40. It's because the reporters started like going at his kids and not going at him. His point was, I'm a man, I'm 40. I can take this. I'm the guy you critique. Yeah.
The thing is,
not the players, not the kids.
You know why they got hype about it? Because Harbaugh actually said something about it. He was like, one thing, number one, it's not true, and nobody on this team thinks that of their teammates. He thought he was coming to their defense. But, I mean, the bottom line is Harbaugh, he went there with a lot of fanfare. He was supposed to be the savior. Michigan was supposed to be back, and he failed.
So were the Knicks.
So the Knicks are back, and they're failing. All right, so that's what happened.
Man. That's what happened while you were on the grind.
Get some quick birthday shout-outs real quick, and then we can get to this NFL stuff with the homie Fred Perdue. All right, so y'all know the drill. Birthdays are brought to you by the Creator. We no longer have a sponsor for the birthday segment, so whoever you pray to, that's who's responsible for you and your birthday.
Erica
so we like to give a birthday shout-out. I don't know if y'all remember this dude. He used to play for the Nuggets, Anthony Goldwire. He turns 47 years old. Right.
Of course.
I mean,
he's trash.
I'm about to say, I wouldn't say of course, because he's definitely only on here because it's a slow birthday day. But shout out to him. Torrance Small, somebody else who probably doesn't deserve a shout out, but shout out to Torrance Small, who turns 48. And y'all, and my homie, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, aka Kevin Willis, 7 feet tall he did not have a Mo Bamba wingspan. Probably had like half a Bamba's wingspan. Kevin Willis, he carved out a pretty good, I believe, like 12-year career, maybe.
Yeah, I think his career was longer than that. Remember he sat on the Spurs bench?
He might have went for like a dub.
Kevin Willis
he went for like a dub. Matter of fact, he might still be playing. But hold on though.
True.
Because like the thing, he stayed around so long, people forget that when he was playing with Dominique for a couple of years, he was a good player. But then he went and sat on the Spurs bench. Yeah, he went and sat on the bench with the Spurs for like a decade, just as like a good guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he definitely
just because he was nice.
Like Blue. He was built like Blue off Jurassic Park. But it is what it is.
Yeah, this dude played 11 seasons just in Atlanta. So he came in the league 84, 85, and he didn't. Kevin Willis didn't retire till 2006, 2007. I knew he might have, like, after I said that, I knew it sounded wrong. That's why I was like, he might have played a dub. He played more than a dub. What was Kevin Willis doing in 2006? He was on Dallas.
I told you that. He played, Bull played till he was like 40.
After they got a ring, I think. He came and tried to grab him.
My man probably got a mean pension.
And
pension dirty.
Through it all, though, he averaged 12 points, 8.4 boards, a block per game.
But I tell you how good he was, because like he probably averaged like 1-1 the last 10 years.
The thing is, like in those years, he was still averaging like more than Robert Horry in his in the 2000s. He shouldn't even have been on the court in the 2000s. He averaged 9.3, 8.8, 9.6, 6.1, 4.2, 3.4, 3, and 2.4. But for most of that, the 2000s, he averaged more than your man.
He ain't got no cool nickname,
shout out to the homie. Shout out to the T-Rex. And shout out to everybody having a birthday. Salute. All right, so real quick before we get
to Blue. Shout the Blue from Jurassic Park, built like Kevin Willis.
No doubt. Y'all can check out our website, like we told you earlier, warroomsports.com. If you want to call in and speak with us about any NFL topics, we're going to do a quick preview. Dial the Digital Extreme Tech hotline at 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted, but if you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. And this NFL Wrap is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. Do you or your business need a custom website solution? Well, for dynamic, professional, and most of all, affordable custom website solutions, you need Digital Extreme Technologies. No need to break the bank for an effective online presence. Top quality, results-driven websites at incredibly affordable prices. And yes, you could put something on it because financing is available. So visit digitalextremetech.com or call 267-205-4203. And for some discounted rates, just be sure to tell them that the homies over at War Room Sports sent you. Tis time. All right, so we're going to talk about, this upcoming season real quick before kickoff. And to do that, we're going to bring on the homie, Fred Perdue from the Cover 2 podcast to talk a little football with us. Fred, what's going on, good brother?
What's going on, fellas? I feel like we ready for this NFL season. It's a long time coming.
We are. He probably saying FOH because they don't do football no more, but, we ready. We ready.
I need my championship back. I'll let y'all
before we. Yeah, we're going with that. I watched that again today. I had to start the season off right, so I watched that again today. how sweet it is.
Yo, when you watched it again, was the Eagles whooping the Patriots' ass again?
Whoa.
Yeah, it kind of happened the same way I saw it the first time. Say no, but for real, like I said, being an Eagles fan. We talk about this over and over again. Like, when you watch that game, even this many months later, like when the Patriots the lead in the fourth quarter, like I still got nervous. Like, what am I doing? I know how the game is going to end. I still got nervous. Like, damn it, these dudes won't go away. Like, I don't know that they. But anyway, before we get in, I just want to remind people out there, the season is kicking off in about 45 minutes, so if you're not a member of the Pigskin Pick'em Contest, make sure you go to War Room Sports Facebook page, or you can go to our Twitter feed, click on that link to get into the group. This year, we got a grand prize of $25. That's not much. That's less than we usually give out. But, hey, it's free to enter. So, it's free money. So, if you got a problem with prize money going down, take it up with your mom. All right, so that's Pigskin Pick'em on ESPN.com. Just go to our social media sites and you can click the link and get in on this free contest. I don't want to hear nobody complaining if it's free. All right, we could easily charge everybody $10 a head and we can get it, but I don't think y'all want to do that. Anyway, let's get into these awards predictions. We only got like a little less than 30 minutes on the show, so we can't go as in-depth as we would like to, but you guys can check out the latest episode of Cover 2. That's on the War Room Sports YouTube page. So you can check that out where we go very much in-depth about all of these picks and predictions and stuff. Like every time we do a Cover 2 show, we were like, we're going to try to keep this to an hour. And that's going to be like an hour and 55 minutes. Y'all can check that out if you need more detail. But for now, we're going to take turns giving our awards predictions, and our awards predictions consist of Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and, of course, MVP. So, B. Austin, you want to do the honors, or you want me to break it open?
No, brother, go ahead and kick it off. Go ahead and kick it off.
Go ahead and bust it open. That's what they used to tell me in college. Anyway.
Yo,
We're gonna edit that out, but all right. So let's go. We're gonna start with Coach of the Year, and there's a lot of worthy candidates. I'm not gonna be too long-winded, but there's a lot of worthy candidates out there. I'm thinking Pat Shurmur from the Giants. I'm thinking Anthony Lynn from the Chargers. These are all teams that I was big on last year that ended up disappointing me. So that's really some of the criteria. If the team was trash last year and you end up going to the playoffs, you're automatically in the mix. I'm going to go with Kyle Shanahan from the San Francisco 49ers. The funny part about this is later on in the show, you'll see that in my divisional predictions, I don't even have the San Francisco 49ers making the playoffs. But I think that they could be one of those stories of a team that could jump from where they were last season into the playoffs, even though I don't have them making it. But I think if they do get to that point, then the coaching of Kyle Shanahan is going to have a giant impact on a visible impact on what they're doing. So I'm going to go with Kyle Shanahan for Coach of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Andrew Luck, even though Aaron Rodgers will be in the mix for this particular award. I'm going to go with Andrew Luck. You got a lot of people in this category, too, because usually this is whoever gets hurt, you come back and play well, you can get it. So you got Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, Odell Beckham, David Johnson. You got a full field of dudes who could win this award, but I'm going to go with Andrew Luck, strictly because I think he might have the advantage because he didn't play at all last year. So them sympathy votes going to come flying in if he throws for 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns like I predict him to do. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Bradley Chubb for Jimmy's former Denver Broncos, playing across that line from Von Miller, who could easily be the Defensive Player of the Year. I think it's going to free up a lot of stuff for the rookie to make a name in this league. Shout out to other dudes like Derwin James, Roquan Smith, etc. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I didn't necessarily want to go chalk with this, but I tried to resist, but I couldn't. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley from the New York Giants. I'm hoping he's not going to, as an Eagles fan, I'm hoping he's not going to be as special as everybody says he's going to be, but I'm going to pick him as my Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Aaron Donald. He got Ndamukong Suh next to him on that line now. So that means some people are going to have to block Aaron Donald by themselves, and there ain't nobody in this league that can do that. I'm going to go with him. Offensive Player of the Year, this might be a little surprising. I'm going to go with a wide receiver. I'm going to go with Antonio Brown. With and especially without Le'Veon Bell, I don't know what he's going to do. We know Ben Roethlisberger is going to force feed his horse at wide receiver in Antonio Brown. So as long as he stays healthy, I think he can actually get in the mix for this award. And for MVP, no, I'm not going Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm not going Tom Brady. No, I'm not going Drew Brees. I'm going Todd Gurley from the Rams. I think that team is going to come together nicely this year. Dream team. And I think Todd Gurley is going to be he's going to be the beneficiary of a lot of open space up front with his quarterback improving and his wide receiving core improving. I think he's going to be the beneficiary of a lot of yardage up front, as well as out of the backfield. So Todd Gurley for MVP. All right, who wants to go next? Y'all there? Did I put y'all to sleep?
All right. So
No.
Since nobody else is not jumping to the podium, let me go ahead and take care of this one. So for me, Coach of the Year, Andy Reid. You get a new quarterback, you got a high-powered offense. Defense isn't going to be there, so the offense you got to score points. So that's an easy peasy one. Comeback Player of the Year, this is easy. Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you get Jimmy Graham. You finally might have a running game again, kind of like the Chiefs. Offense is going to be there. Defense isn't. You're going to have to score points to win games and make the playoffs. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Roquan Smith. You get Khalil Mack. You have Leonard Floyd. Those are your pass rushers. You have the middle of that defense is now solid now. I think he might just be the best middle backer in his own division. So, and I think he's gonna be a stud for a long time. So, offensive Rookie of the Year, Saquon Barkley. He adds a bit of a wrinkle to that offense. Eli's not the greatest, but it helps when your offensive line's a little bit better. He can throw it to him out the backfield. We saw a little bit of a glimpse in the preseason of what we can see from him. The only thing I want to see from him is can he finish runs? Every time he breaks one, he just doesn't finish, and that kind of bothered me even in college. Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. Kind of have to go with Dev on this one. You got Ndamukong Suh next to him. You got a good secondary on the back end. Offense is going to score points, so they're going to be up in games. They can pin their ears back. He's going to be the beneficiary of that. He's going to be able to push the pocket from the middle. Offensive Player of the Year, Tom Brady. For me, and you'll see why in a minute, because we kind of mix that Offensive Player of the Year and MVP. It's kind of the same thing, but somebody has to feel good about themselves. Tom Brady typically puts up big numbers. It's always a quarterback award. I'm giving it to my guy. MVP, Russell Wilson. And just hear just hear me out on this one. Russell Wilson has to carry a team. There is no more Legion of Boom. There is no more great defensive line. He has to. He's going to have mode. No beast mode. Even though Rashad Penny might be okay, but he's going to have to carry this team, and he's going to be in a lot of shootouts. What the shootouts do, that makes his numbers look great. If you have him in fantasy football, that's a great thing for you. As long as he stays healthy. That's mine. That's for me. No Aaron Rodgers for MVP though. I'm not ready to crown him on that.
If you want to crown him, crown him.
B. Austin has come back to the NFL awards. Head coach of the year, that dude that coaches the Rams, Anthony. Comeback player of the year, the God, Aaron Rodgers. Defensive rookie of the year, Bradley. Not Anderson, but Chubb. Offensive rookie of the year, Baker Mayfield. Yes, you heard me right, a Cleveland Brown. Baker Mayfield. Wow.
You must got him getting off the bench early.
Wow. Defensive player of the year. Yeah, they're going to get the black boy up out of there. Defensive player of the year, Mac. Bitch. Khalil Mack is going to earn his money.
We never get in check.
Offensive player of the year, Todd Gurley.
Be awesome.
Todd Gurley. MVP. Drum roll, please. He's not playing tonight. But at the end of
you didn't tell me you was going to do that. I got you, though. I got you.
When Carson Wentz in a lifetime. Pennsylvania. The Red Rocket. What a
He's going to finish what he started? Wow.
Carson Wentz. These are your awards.
All right. Well, I know I gave my who was it? What did I give to Garoppolo? Oh no, it was the coach. I gave the coach to Shanahan, and I don't even think they're gonna make the playoffs. So I guess I can't talk that much. But B. Austin has said several times throughout this show that the Eagles are gonna go 7-9 this season. So I don't know how the hell the MVP gonna be on the 7-9 team. But I ain't. And
stranger things have happened.
It's not really breaking news, but I just got a report that says that Wentz isn't expected to play for a few more weeks. So I don't know. I might set you back on that. But I don't know. He might come. Hey, your man Nick Foles jumped into the MVP conversation in like 10, 11 weeks in 2013. So you never know. You never, ever, ever know. All right, so let's go with, the playoffs and who we think gonna do what.
Playoffs?
I'll start it off. And I'll start it off with the AFC division winners, the AFC wild cards, and who I think's going to represent in the championship game and the Super Bowl for the AFC, and then I'll take it over to the NFC. As a matter of fact, we can all do the AFC, and then we'll all do the NFC, and then we can give our Super Bowl picks at the same time. All right, so AFC division winners. In the AFC West, I am going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers. In the AFC North, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the AFC South, I'm going with the Jacksonville Jags. In the AFC East, who else could it be but the Patriots? And my two AFC wild cards, I got the Texans and the Chiefs. In the AFC Championship game, I got the Steelers versus the Patriots. And in the AFC representative in the Super Bowl will be your Pittsburgh Steelers. So go ahead, fellas. Go to your AFC representatives for the divisions, the wild card, the championship game, and the Super Bowl.
You also got me really. I don't know what to say after those individual awards. So go ahead, surprise me.
Mac. Go ahead, who's going? Fred or B. Austin? Somebody go.
Go ahead, Fred. All right, I'll take it.
Yo, real quick, I just want to say all my picks for all the good awards go to Kaepernick, Eric Reed, and Kenny Still.
What?
Now, go ahead, Fred.
He got Kaepernick and Reed for comeback and go away player in the same year.
The go away player of the year. Who's the go away player of the year? Tom Brady. Go ahead, Fred.
Hey. Just because your quarterback's no longer in the league. Anyway.
I don't even know who my quarterback is, Fred. Hey, Fred, you going to cry when Brady retire or no?
Nah. On to the next.
Y'all got rid of the future.
Somebody.
Go ahead, though. I'm going to follow.
Yeah, we did. All right, so AFC division winner. In the North, I got the Steelers. In the South, I have the Jags. In the East, I have, of course, the Patriots. In the West, I have the Chargers, and I don't like that pick, but they're the default choice. And if you want to know why, go listen to Cover 2. You'll find out. My wild card, I have the Chiefs and the Ravens. I think the Ravens they're not great, but they're on their way back. In my AFC championship game is a rematch of last year, Patriots versus Jags, but this time the Jags might have a home field advantage. Just saying. And my
Fred, still out here hedging his bets. Fred, listen, man. Your whole season, you always hedge your bets, man. We see you though.
No.
But listen to this. Listen to the Super Bowl pick.
My Super Bowl selection out of the AFC is, of course, the Patriots.
He's just saying the Jags gonna get home field, but he's still saying the Patriots gonna run up in there and beat them, so it don't matter. He's like, Patriots still gonna.
All right. For the AFC West, we got the Raiders. We got the Raiders.
I actually thought about doing that, but I didn't want to be crazy.
Hey, man,
I was going to put the Raiders up.
You might get accused of insider trading. You must know something no one else knows.
Raiders, Steelers, Jags, Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to dethrone the MAGA team. I got the Texans and shout out to Kenny. The Texans and the Chiefs are going to be wild carding, and I wanted to pick the Ravens here. I just don't believe in Joe Flacco anymore, man. Joe Skinny is gone. I got the Steelers and the Jags in the chip game, and I got the Steelers returning to the Super Bowl because the Patriots ain't shit.
Whoa. Such hate. Haters don't hate, man. Haters don't hate.
Over to the NFC side, and we see you out there, Rob. Hang tight. After we do these picks, we go to the phone line. So on the NFC side of things, on the NFC West, I got the Dream Team out in L.A. The North, I got the Vikings. The South, which was difficult for me because I was leaning to the Saints, but I'm going to go with the Falcons for some reason. In the NFC East, I think the Eagles can pull out another division win, even though I'm not, I wasn't that excited about the Eagles last year, and they surprised me. Now that I'm going to pick them to win the division, they're probably going to stink. In the NFC wild cards, I'm going to go with the Packers and the Saints. NFC Championship game, Vikings versus the Dream Team. NFC Champions is going to be the Dream Team. So it's going to be the Dream Team going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the Super Bowl. And I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid. I got the Dream Team winning the whole damn thing. Shout out to Nino.
The whole thing.
All right, Fred.
All right, so
NFC.
Fred, in the NFC, I got the Vikings in the North. In the South, I have the Saints. Something about these Falcons, I'm not yet. In the East, I have the Eagles. This one is a no-brainer. I mean, although that Washington team they're almost there. And then the West, I have the Seahawks winning that division, actually. My wild card, the Rams and the Falcons. My championship game, Eagles versus Rams. My winner coming out of there, the Rams. And are we giving our Super Bowl pick yet, or?
Yeah.
And our Super Bowl, my Super Bowl pick, Patriots win over Rams in a rematch of the 2001 Super Bowl. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick retire after.
Yo, I love you, but you're a noodle. You're a noodle, man.
Hey, I'm trying to help y'all out because, if Brady stays around for however long he wants to keep staying around, you got to do it. I'm trying to help you out. No.
Wrong side of history. I have in NFC West, I have the Garoppolos. In the North, I got the Purple Men, Purple People Eaters. I got them kids from New Orleans eating some gumbo. And I got the Midgets winning the NFC East. My wild card teams are God and the Cowbums. So the Packers and the Cowbums. I got the Packers facing the Vikes in the NFC Chip game. And I have the Packers versus the Steelers in the Super Bowl. And I have Aaron Rodgers raising the Super Bowl trophy.
Whoa.
Book it.
That's a comeback player of the year award all day long. What you know about the Cowboys that I don't know? I'm just curious.
Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz. That's what he know. What's wrong with you? You ain't heard.
Not on it.
All right, let's go to the phone lines real quick because we only got a few minutes left. We let Rob tell us about who he got in the Super Bowl this season. We got Rob out in Cali. What's up, dude?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
I got you.
Thank you. We won. Remember that Super Bowl? There was no Spygate. There was no deflated football. It was straight up football. What's up, man? How y'all doing?
What up?
There was no tuck rule. There was no tuck rule. There was no rep.
Yo, you know what though? On the real, I thought they was gonna tuck rule us when Brandon Graham made the sack. Even though it was nothing close to what the tuck rule was supposed to be. I just thought they were gonna break it
clean. It was cleaner than baby wipes. It was clean.
Oh, no, it was
clean.
I mean, the Raiders should have been in the championship that year, but Look, somebody sent me a text that said F Philly, and then it said LOL, good luck tonight. It say F us and then good luck.
What a coward, man. Don't disrespect Philadelphia. Please don't. The only thing you should disrespect is the trash rapper Meek Mill. But anyways, man, how y'all doing today? I don't like it. But anyway, I'm good, man. I'm sitting out here doing pizza. I wish I would go to the Philly ball, but it'll be a little bit too rowdy now. It's only the first game. Alshon Jeffrey's not in this game. I think the season is going to be dependent. The thing about the season is going to be depend on two groups. On the offense, it's going to be dependent on the offensive line. I think the running backs will take care of itself. But the problem with the running backs is Blunt, that 1-2 punch we really needed. In 2 Chronicles, verse 38, I don't say verse 38. The power of dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? Do not underestimate the power of dreadlocks. We only have one dreadlocks left. So, in the secondary, I know me and B Austin be back and forth in the secondary. I'm not even going to argue with him anymore. But, we're just going to see how things unfold. Hopefully, the cornerbacks, not the safeties, but the cornerbacks are built though.
Man, with that secondary.
Huh?
I think they're gonna be okay, man. You got Sidney Jones in the mix. If he's as good as they think he is, I think the secondary gonna be okay.
All right.
They didn't do anything but grow last season. So who you got? Who's gonna win the Super Bowl this year?
I can't say. I mean, Aaron Rodgers can Aaron Rodgers can he stay healthy in the 2 games against the Bears? That's the thing, and the Vikings, because they gonna come after him, man. That's a big choice. And also you got the Rams. Also you got the I don't know. I mean, Philly has a lot to prove, but the Rams have a lot to prove. We'll see. I think it's probably Philly or the Rams. The Cowboys have no chance. All you gotta do is expose. I mean, Dak, because I know y'all got time left for the show. Dak is a fraud, and he'll be out of the Cowboys within 2 years, guaranteed.
He
is.
All right, man. Well, get your pizza. Hope you have a good game watching experience tonight, and we will wrap to you next week, man.
I gotta go, but I gotta say one thing. Bobby Brown, you are a fish boy. You know what I'm saying? Whoever goes in the devil's your business. You know what I'm saying? Stop pillow talking. That's all I gotta say, man.
All right, you got a message for Bobby Brown out here. Yo, why people coming at Bobby? I mean, if he schmiggity, if I schmiggity Janet, I'll tell y'all too. Anyway, you guys, give me some overall thoughts of the upcoming season. Maybe some bold predictions. Just anything that you want to get off your chest before kickoff. Like, what do y'all think about the 2018 NFL season?
Man, salute to Kaepernick.
The Washington team, what? They got a chance to go to the playoffs?
This Washington team might be a little better than people expect. I hope the Cowboys go 0-16. Jerry deserves every bit of this. That's it.
Why you hating on Jerry, man? Jerry's built his empire. It's like, no, Jerry got them boys out there standing for that national anthem. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm really looking forward to what I see is going to be a battle in the NFC. I mean, it was kind of like that last season. I mean, you had 3 viable teams who were up there in the power rankings week in and week out. You had, I think you had like 4. You had Philly, you had the Vikings, you had the Saints, and you had the Rams. I think last season people pretty much knew, like, okay, the Rams are up and coming, but this is really not the year. Like, they're really not going to make that push this year. But, I've seen what can happen from the establishment of Green Bay, being an Eagles fan in 2011. This is different to me. You know what I'm saying? They're putting together names, but I still think, like, these names are better players than just the names that the Eagles put together in 2011 and had a terrible, a 4-win season after all of that talk. When you have, Ndamukong Suh next to Aaron Donald with Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters and, Todd Gurley and the ghost of Brandon Cooks and, all the guys that they have. Like, it's difficult to see how week in and week out people are going to go into LA and get a win from this team. Is anybody drinking the Kool-Aid like me? Am I going to be? No,
I'm
not
on the
going to
other
be disappointed.
side, but I think they're going to underachieve. I think they're going to underachieve a little bit simply because they have the frontline guys, but when you get into week 10, 11, 12, that depth starts to show, and if anybody gets hurt, who's behind it?
That is the one thing about them. That if they have a rash of injuries, like you don't really know what's going to happen there. But they can't really afford depth at the current moment. But just on paper, and we know they don't play the game on paper. I'm kind of all in with the prospects.
You would know personally, wouldn't you? A few years ago, you shouldn't be drinking the Kool-Aid out of anybody. You guys got to see it firsthand.
Yeah, no doubt. B. Austin, any quick parting shots? Like 20 seconds.
Yeah, man, I've noticed that the Patriots have a rash of injuries, suspensions. They're probably down about 6 starters. Fred, can you confirm that?
Injuries, no. start. When we talk about the Patriots, we know they always start out slow. So that's not really a concern. The only concern I have
questions.
is that
We literally had like 20 seconds.
It's the left tackle position because simply you got a guy that was your first round pick was hurt. He's out for the season. So that's the only concern, injury-wise.
All right. Jimmy going to take us out of here. All you football lovers out there, have a great season. And we'll holler at y'all about this NFL stuff next week. Where Jimmy at? All right. Jimmy.
My bad. I was on. My bad. No, I got it. I was on the mute. My bad. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us for another briefing in the War Room. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, Facebook, Twitter, on the GroupMe app. Salute to everybody. All the calls who called and got through, salute to you. Those we couldn't get to, we apologize. Listen, Gus Griffin, Fred Perdue, always thank you to you guys. Tune in next week live right here on demand as we recap the NFL Week 1 and preview Week 2. Everything else in the world of sports we'll be talking about. Any sort of ratchetness that happens in between them we'll be talking about. So until then, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week, and we'll see you right back here next time. Catch all of our conversations, Facebook, Twitter, everything we do, webcast, podcast, blogs, everything is at warroomsports.com. That is the hub. Also, get my book, Sports the Book, at sportsthebook.com or at the hub, warroomsports.com. But until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance. We'll see you chumps on top.
Know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like magic in the block push. Listen live, push one to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip hop scholars, pit stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC, royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah. You know? Jimmy, Dev, PJ, Doc Bay, B. Austin. I'm shot. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.